Hi, I'm Julien Stoutt, and I am a personal trainer here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I am raised in New York City, in the Bronx. I've been here in Colorado Springs for 23 years as a personal trainer and a former automated logistical specialist. I hated that job, to be honest with you. If I had my way, I would have reclassed and done something in medicine. But when I got out of the military, I went through hard times, and in that time that I went through those hard times, I discovered what my true passion was, which is to be in shape and help other people get in shape as well. I got educated at Colorado State University, Pueblo, got my degree in athletic training, and then decided to become a personal trainer in that time frame. And when I became a personal trainer at 24 Hour Fitness, I stayed there for 3 years, and then I decided to start business for myself. And I developed Stoutt Fitness in the year 2015, and I've been incorporated ever since, and here I am. Back in the day, I was in the Army. I spent 5 years in the Army, 4 active, 1 year in the reserves. I was known to be physically fit for primarily most of my life. At the age of 13, I decided to begin lifting weights because I was way too skinny, and I was being made fun of at that time. And luckily for me, my mom and my aunt conspired to turn around and send me to the Boys and Girls Club. And on that day, I saw these muscle-bound men working out, and I figured that's what I wanted to look like, and I began my journey there. But once I joined the military, I actually found myself improving in ways because of what I learned from the ages of 13 to 19. I started to improve and make myself more fit as I went along, and then I started helping people pass their physical fitness exams because that was the only thing that was going to keep them from moving on from basic training and AIT. And once I started to realize that I had a skill in doing that, it kind of fell on the back burner because I became a family man. I was married, and I'm paying attention to my family, but it didn't ever really go away. I was always helping people during PT time and helping them get in shape and training them to get ready for their physical fitness exams. But once I got out, like I said, I fell on hard times where I was just working regular menial jobs and I wasn't happy with my life. And the aha moment that I had is that my sister turned around and asked me, what do you plan on doing with your life? Because at that time I believed that college was a scam. And in some ways I still do, but not in the educational sense, but the financial portion of it. But I decided to go back to school because my sister said, if you do anything, what would you like to do with your life if all your bills were paid? Just forget about your bills. Don't even think about what bill you have to pay and all this other stuff. What would you like to do if you had the opportunity to wake up and just do it? And I was like, I'd work out. And she was like, well, what about helping other people work out? I was like, I do that anyway. So she was like, so why don't you do that? And I was like, but there's no degree for that. So she said, find a degree that relates to it. And I was like, okay. So I didn't want to be that guy that had a degree in something that other people could just disregard and not respect. So I decided to take the hardest thing that you can find in exercise science to take, which was athletic training. And athletic training is basically sports medicine, and it is sports rehab to be specific. And I decided to do that, and I got my education in it. But once I got that, I took that skill set and I moved on and became a personal trainer with it. And ironically, I graduated right in the middle of the stock market crash. So that took a little bit of time and growth and learning in that time frame as well. So that was my aha moment. As an African American, I think that it is really important that we all get into shape. Now, that does not mean a specific body type or a specific level of fitness in order to be considered healthy. I believe that we're all athletes, right? So regardless of whether you're working at FedEx or whether you are playing for the NBA championship, it's irrelevant. We all have to be physically capable of controlling our bodies in space and therefore being able to perform at a moment's notice to be able to do what is necessary for us to not only thrive in our livelihoods, but also to survive in the world that we live in. We tend to do things a certain way because growing up in the Bronx, you couldn't just go running and jogging throughout the Bronx because at a moment's notice you could be getting robbed, jumped, beat up, or whatever because of the neighborhood that I lived in. However, that's no excuse for you or anybody else to deny yourself access to a physical fitness facility. I don't care if your physical fitness facility is around the corner from your house or 12 to 15 miles away. It's imperative and your responsibility for you to make yourself educated on these things, so that way that you can turn around and help your family create a legacy of health and fitness and longevity beyond that what you are accustomed to now. Right now, the average black male lives to be 59. That is due to both violence and due to poor health. Our longevity primarily is through our diet. Yes, we have food deserts in bad neighborhoods, but we can make better choices within the neighborhoods that we live in. We don't have to eat at McDonald's every day. We don't have to get everything off the dollar menu for lunch. We don't have to turn around and go to all of these fast food restaurants in order to provide ourselves with what we got going on. Yes, I know things are stressful, and I know you got to get to bed at a certain time because work begins at this time. You might be even working 2 or 3 jobs, but your health is more important. Why? Because if you've ever seen the videos for plane accidents, they tell you put your oxygen mask on first before putting on your child's. Why? Because if you pass out, you can't help your child. So it's the same difference for your health. If you feel that you're the most awesome mom, most awesome dad, and because you are putting yourself into these types of situations where you are providing for your family in a certain way, you can't be the best parent or the best mom or dad or provider if you're dead. High blood pressure, diabetes, arthrosclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, things of those natures. These are all things that plagues the black community in certain ways where it is detrimental to us, to where we can no longer thrive and provide for our families to create the generational wealth that we are supposed to be creating for ourselves. And when we have to pay hundreds upon hundreds of dollars for medication, surgeries, medical bills that are going to climb through the roof because we suffered a heart attack or a stroke, and now we have to rely on the government to turn around and put us through to our last days, these are the things that kills our generational wealth potential. And as a result, it is important for us, it is imperative for us to get our physical fitness priorities in order, so that way we can have the longevity that we know we deserve to have. So whether it's getting educated on your own or getting educated through a personal trainer like myself, it is my best advice for you as an African American to do so. Stoutt Fitness, I provide one-on-one personal training, group personal training, corrective exercise, and pseudo boxing classes. To get specific, one-on-one personal training is literally just that. I'm training you one-on-one. I'm allowing you to discover who you are as a person. We go down, so how I go through that is I break down where you are at the moment. So your height, your weight, your body fat percentage, and your lean body mass percentage, to let you know exactly where you are supposed to be. So to be specific, let's say for instance, I take your measurements, you're 5 feet, 175 pounds, and you're female. What I will tell you is that based on that, your body fat percentage is supposed to be anywhere between 18% and 24%. So as long as you're in between those parameters, we are going to turn around and work within that. So as a result, let's say you are more like 32% body fat. So now we do those calculations and we find out that you're actually like 100 pounds of hair, water, skin, muscle, bone, which is your lean body mass, and you probably weigh another additional 60 pounds of body fat that needs to be lost, right? So when I break that all down, I usually get to tell you that you need to lose roughly about 30 pounds, because most people are usually shocked to find out that they don't need to lose 100 pounds as they believe they need to, or some ridiculous number. It's something usually fairly simple. that they need to achieve, and it is attainable. The other thing, once I break that down to them, we go over your planning on how it is that you're going to go about getting to this point, your diet, how often you're going to exercise, what type of exercising you're going to do during that time frame, how often are you going to train with me, how often you're going to train on your own. That's all directly up to you and the financial capabilities that you have. Second is corrective exercise training. A lot of us have muscular imbalances that creates avenues for injury, and those things causes us postural misalignment, which again causes us great potential for injury. My job to do that is a little bit more specific, which causes me to have to be very, 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 very detailed in how I go about training you. It's not focused. This is not a focus on your ability to lose weight and get in shape. This is specifically to avoid you having muscular and postural imbalances that causes you to be injured at your job or to be injured in training and in fitness as well. Boxing, I'm not a former boxer or anything like that, but I have some experience using my hands, and in that parameters, I help people understand the bare basics of how to box and utilizing the exercises in boxing to help you get in shape that way.